the viewing area for today, this Wednesday morning. Not looking terrible. In fact, a little bit cool this morning, but we're not looking at any type of frigid weather, at least not within the next 48 hours. So for today, the weather is going to be relatively nice. In fact, just a few passing clouds. Looking at downtown Baton Rouge, it is simply gorgeous. Our current temperature right now, we are already up into the 70s, 74 degrees. That's our current temperature. Not that much wind. It is remaining light. The dew points aren't terrible, so it's a comfortable 74 degrees. 76 for viewers in 76 for our viewers in Gonzales. You'll notice still right at 70 in the Macomb area, but overall we are looking at above normal temperatures for this time of year. In fact, we could be dealing with, let's say, some mid, maybe even upper 70s for this afternoon. But the next 12 hours for the Baton Rouge area and anyone in southeast Louisiana and southwest Mississippi is looking decent. After sunset, we will only be in the 60s. So this is a little bit of a warming trend that is underway across the area. On top of that, we are going to have a bit of a roller coaster dive. We're starting out with a bit of a warm up. Highs potentially in the 80s as we get into the weekend, but you'll notice with the Weather Prediction Center, the forecast has much of the deep south in blue, indicating a big time cool down with below normal temperatures. So when can we expect it? Well, thankfully not into the weekend. Yeah, there's going to be a weak little front that'll try to make its way through the area later today, but that's not going to have any impact on our weather. Notice for your Thursday afternoon, we are going to still be on the relatively mild side. But watch what happens as we go into Friday and Saturday. It is going to be much warmer, still looking at more of a southerly wind. So the Gulf moisture is coming in and that warmer air settling in also, which means we're going to have a good likelihood of temperatures topping out in the 80s, not just for Friday. Friday will be the start. Some of us may not reach the 80s on Friday, but the weekend, though, especially Saturday, that's likely going to be our warmest day of the week before our next cold front pushes through. Ahead of that front, we could deal with a couple of showers, maybe a few late day showers for Friday, same for Saturday, but those chances are only from ranging 10 to 30%. So those chances aren't the greatest. Not expecting any rumbles of thunder, but once the front pushes through late Saturday to Sunday morning, notice we got lots of shades of blue on the map coming in from Canada, colder Canadian air pushing all the way to the deep south next week. And that is what is going to give us our big time cool down, much cooler than what, or I should say much colder than what we've had for quite some time. Notice 74 degrees, that's the normal high for Baton Rouge. We are already at that 74 degree mark at the 11 o'clock hour. And you'll notice the 80s coming to play for Baton Rouge Friday as well as Saturday. Saturday, we're going to have that front push through. And it's not just going to be a one front. We're going to have a series of fronts with that as the colder air plunges in. Look at the nosedive we get going from 84 Saturday, Sunday 72, down to 59 degrees for a daytime high for Monday. That is going to be our little bit of a cold snap that we're going to get. Warming up a little bit by next Tuesday. It could be back in the low 60s, but that's still nothing compared to that 74 degrees that we're supposed to be at now. Those are the highs. What about the morning lows? Well, they're going to take a fall as well. 60 for the low for Baton Rouge on Saturday morning, well, rather Sunday morning, but you'll notice as we go into especially Monday morning, that's what we'll have to be watching out for. Saturday, not looking too bad. Sunday morning, could be dealing with lows in the 40s or right near 40 degrees. Some locations, especially north of the interstate, could potentially reach the 30s for the first time this season on Sunday morning. If that doesn't happen, then there's a good chance anyone in the viewing area could be dealing with those 30s on Monday morning. That's where we'll have to look out for the potential for frost. Now, if we get any little bit of wind, that could limit the frost potential, but still nonetheless going with low to mid 30s for your Monday morning lows. Now, after that, we start to warm up at least closer to normal slowly but surely. But with these series of cool fronts, that's going to give us a big time cool down. So for the time being, no need to worry through the weekend. Even Sunday's not looking too bad. But it's when we get into Monday, especially, and into Tuesday, that's where we're not only going to have a pretty cold morning, but some breezy and if not chilly afternoons. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. And on top of that, be sure to watch 9 News this afternoon and tonight. Jeff Morrow and Steve Caparato will have the latest on your weather updates.
Southern Air of Baton Rouge says no, 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 no interest, no money down, no payments for 12 months on HVAC, plumbing, and electrical services. Scan the QR code on your screen to learn more.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.